Good evening. We're going to start this game of Hunter the Reckoning. I'm calling this first season The Shattering Begins. All right, so we've got these 5 characters. You got what they do. We're going to get into what these characters are all about as the game progresses. Let's see how this works out. All right, guys. The setting is Asbury Park, New Jersey, the World of Darkness version. Hurricane Katrina just happened. It's just about a month or two, not even, after Hurricane Katrina. It wrecked the entire boardwalk. This is around 2012, the year 2012. The entire boardwalk is completely off limits. It's been ripped to pieces. There's absolutely no entry. They've posted some security along the front to try and get people to get away from there. Anybody who's anywhere near Asbury Park or from there, as myself, nowadays it's a very beautiful, very artsy place. Anybody who was there way back in the day knows that it was this incredible, beautiful area where people used to live and vacation. There were vacation homes there. Lots of celebrities from all over the world have actually invested in Asbury Park back in the day. We're talking about the 50s and so. Later on, around the civil rights movement era, there were race riots. No, there was English. There was race riots. And eventually there was a white flight, as it were. Asbury Park fairly quickly became gang infested, really dangerous. This is that transition right now between the two. A very horrible, gang-infested Asbury Park with traces of the mafia, the old mafioso there. And soon it's going to go under a rebuilding because of the destruction of Hurricane Katrina. But in the meantime, as this is the world of darkness, there's been the whole entire city and the surrounding area has been rife with horrible, contentious vampires, werewolves, changelings, wraiths, you name it, possibly even demonic activity. And every so often, the mysterious messengers bring to life new hunters to help turn back the tide of darkness. And that's where we start off now. Conrad Gaines. He is working a security detail down by the boardwalk. The whole entire boardwalk area has been fenced off, blocking the beach, the Atlantic Ocean, from Main Street proper, as it were. Actually, Chris, what was the name of Conrad? What was the name of that street right there where the Stone Pony is? Do you remember?
It's not Radcliffe, right?
No, close though.
um,
Yeah, Main Street was further in. This is I don't know, Boardwalk Avenue. For now, it's fine.
yeah, that's okay.
But the whole area's been fenced off, and you're working for a security company. I believe it's called Securitas. And you've been the company is, it's a private security company, and you've been hired. That company's been hired to keep people out of certain wrecked areas where they've been pushing debris from the street and wrecked houses. Try to push everything there until they can bulldoze away and get dump trucks in. And I mean, all over the place, there's been little, security details to try and keep the public safe, as most people can't really drive through the neighborhood, through the city, because cars have been, strewn around from the hurricane. And yeah, they're still trying to get them off of the street. But you're walking the length of the entire area, and the sun is going down. It's a bit late. What what are you dressed as? What do you look like? What do you carry with you? What do you think about as you work this pseudo night shift?
Well, he's dressed in just his regular security uniform. It's rolled up sleeves. He's got a shoulder mic radio so that he can call the dispatcher if he needs to report anything. He's got his mag light with him because that was like standard issue. He's got a utility belt, but they're also armed security, so he probably has his service weapon with him. Um, Not so much so that he can use it, but there was still looting after the hurricane had hit. As far as his thoughts are concerned, like he prefers the graveyard shift just because he likes being by himself. He doesn't really like people all that much. So there's less people for him to interact with. And he's just kind of, trying to remain vigilant. And I guess, like, how long has he been on this assignment, would you say?
Probably not too long. I mean, the cities, the municipal, all governments move slow. So probably, I would say it would take 4 days to a week before they realize they have to set security there and use this area as a bulldozing ground. So I'd say about within a week
Okay, so it's
afterwards.
still pretty short. He hasn't been there a long enough to get kind of like what's we're looking for,
Yeah,
jaded from
about
it.
2 weeks.
Yeah, he hasn't been there long enough to get
Mm.
jaded by it. Like, because I've done security work too, in real life, and it doesn't take long for you to kind of get the used to the routine in it, and then you kind of get complacent. But so he's still a little bit. I don't want to say paranoid, but he's still kind of more observant than somebody that has been doing the same thing probably would be.
That's fine. Yeah,
But
it's certainly not monotonous. And there is a security. There's several of you posted in different areas. Um,
mm,
and there is a Securitas vehicle with the amber light up top that kind of circles around the city down here, all the way up Third Avenue through the park, up to Main Street, back down Cookman, and just making the rounds, the whole circle. For everybody watching, who will watch later, this is actually taking place in Asbury Park proper. So if you want to take a look at the street maps or anything, you will be able to follow along with us. So, uh, so yeah, the job certainly hasn't become monotonous yet. Every so often, you get some homeless who come by, you get some kids who really should be in bed coming by. No real gang activity, but and the gangs are mostly disorganized, just young toughs, punks like you get from the Marvel game, right? And that's that. Let's move on to Shivers. It is Shivers, yes? With a
Uh,
CH?
with a CH, he would probably pronounce it Chivers.
Chivers. Okay. Chivers. You are here. Why you're staying in the well, it used to be considered luxurious-ish, um, the Berkeley Carteret Hotel.
Cool.
Yeah, some of it's been shut down because of the damage, but enough of it's good, and they've always had financial issues. And it is still the nicest hotel in Asbury Park. It's certainly not motel quality like most of the rest. So, what are you doing in America, you Brit?
Well, I'm here because my employer, who is an emeritus professor of anthropology at Oxford University, had come over. She was the keynote speaker for a seminar in New York, and while it was here, had mentioned a possible uh, buying trip as well. He had a contact who was interested in parting with some uh, artifacts, possibly of Native American origin. That was approximately a month ago, and he's not been seen since. I unfortunately couldn't accompany him at the time, even though I am his valet. But family crisis, unfortunately. And having not heard anything from him and not satisfied with the response from the authorities on the other side of the pond, I've made the trip myself to try and locate him. And my my investigation has brought me to Asbury Park.
Okay. Okay, indeed. That is the last known location where he sent you a rather urgent letter. Well,
Exactly. Yeah.
strange letter. Okay. Kurt Mitchell, you are currently working late doing research at a local law office, looking into a cold case involving missing squatters while you were coughing, researching into missing squatters. A squatter, for anyone who's not familiar, is someone who lives in a vacant domicile. And if you're there for but so long and can get, there's actually squatters laws in New Jersey, at least. I don't know about the rest of America. But if you live in a vacant home for a certain period of time and you're able to get at least one of the utilities turned on, then this area is actually considered yours. This was squatters' rights were actually something that were made for people who were lost in the woods or something like that. But unfortunately, some people use them in cities to take over somebody else's land.
It's actually a thing in the UK, so I understand entirely.
Nice. Okay. So you're looking over some of these rules. Why are you doing research? Aren't you a licensed lawyer?
I just, I think it's my first year in the office, and everybody is dumping their file on my desk. You do the research, you do the find the president, do the blah blah blah. I think that's where I am at this moment. I am the guy everybody dumps their crap on right now. I think that's why I am.
Fantastic. Then we've got Ken Watanabe.
Good
You
day.
are you are a strangely dapper fellow. You tell me a little bit about yourself.
So at least when I'm on the job, I'll try to dress for the job, right? So I'll wear a suit, a hat, a tie. But then when I get off work, when I'm no longer selling stocks, working with clients, that sort of thing, I kind of fall into a much more relaxed state. You know, you get out of work and you don't feel like being buttoned up anymore, and it's all sweatshirt, sweatpants. I'm kind of a heavier set guy, so being a little bit on the larger size, it's nice to have that elastic waistband.
Nice. But and currently you're reviewing some financial records for a client who purchased some land in Asbury. Uh, Mysterious email claims the land is haunted, which of course triggers you in a certain way because you have a bit of a fancy for the conspiratorial side of things, yes?
Absolutely. So many people would see something like that and just blow it off. Rumors and gossip don't mean much to them, but actually, that's kind of my energy when it comes to the paranormal. I tend to read all sorts of obscure web pages, magazines, if I can find them, anything that rumors, uh, internet articles, any sort of word of mouth. I tend to be a little bit, I wouldn't say paranoid, just very encouraged, very, um, I don't know, that sort of information just really gets my gears turning, and it gets my brain thinking as I try to make connections between these things. And maybe sometimes I'm seeing connections that aren't really there, but I know that they fit into place.
Okay. And then packing up his truck, getting ready to drive home from a long day as a construction plumber, family business. A man who wasn't always a plumber is organizing his tools back where they belong before he can go home after a long day. Jerry Anderson, tell me about yourself.
Well, he wasn't always a plumber, but he's always had no problem laying pipe. And let's see here. He no relation to Jeff Anderson. At least I think that's the actor's name. I might have it wrong. Anyway, former police officer. Things got a little hairy in the meantime, and he decided to join his family business. Figured he'd probably make more money anyway and have to deal with a lot less garbage. And that's the long and short of it.
Nice.
Kind of a no nonsense guy. He doesn't tolerate any kind of bullying or anything.
Fantastic. So you guys are going about your day, getting ready to go home, researching, walking the green mile, as it were. There's a 911 call goes out that there's some kind of something going on. A couple people reporting in that there's some kids doing stupid things, racing their cars, revving their engines, whatever. Conrad, security detail, you get a call. Hey, call went out. Just, keep in mind such and such and such. If you see something like that, let us know so that, we could direct the police out there. We'll call them into handling the big stuff. Try not to actually engage, but you are armed, so you can still defend yourself. You are armed security. Jerry, you still keep the police band in your car. I mean, what cop doesn't? Ken, you've got one yourself. Maybe not the most legal one for you, but
I mean, it's amazing what you can find in some of those backdoor stores.
Absolutely. Shivers, how would you know about something like this? Keeping your ear to the ground and not trusting this crazy place, being a stranger in a strange land.
I'm guessing that I probably don't. What sort of time of the evening is it? Or day is it? Sorry.
Sun's going down.
Sun's going down. So I'm. What time? I can't remember. When was Katrina? What time of year was that?
Oh, I don't know. Please stop.
I'm just trying to decide whether I've had dinner yet or not.
September, maybe. It might have been September.
Month.
Usually, hurricane season is like
Katrina. Yeah.
September, October.
Yeah. Yeah. It was August 23rd until August 31st.
Okay. So trying to go down then. In which case, then I'm probably looking for somewhere to eat. I'm out having a constitutional and looking for somewhere to grab something to eat to sample the wares of this wonderful city.
The Wonder Bar is actually not too far. Big, gigantic clown face on top of the building. You're not sure why, but it's a place. You can get some food. It's not as loud as that Stone Pony place a couple doors down.
Yes, I'll be avoiding that place.
Heard of them, that crazy American music, like that Bruce Springsteen guy, that Bon Jovi, all these New Jersey bands.
Yes, maybe if I stay here long enough to become a local, but hopefully I won't be. I'll try this other place out. And
okay. And Kurt.
Hello there.
So, what are you?
Well,
you're in a law office, so maybe a cop is. Excuse me. Maybe a cop is walking by and double checking on some records really quick. It's City Hall, and he just says, hey, let me know if there's anything going on. And over his radio, you hear there's some vehicular activity going on.
Well, I've always wanted to be in the middle of things. It's the idea of being the lawyer in the very high stakes uh, case is kind of where my child mind was going to. So the idea that I could be a witness to something interesting is something I'll go for. So I'll definitely step outside at the very least and see if I can see what's going on.
Ambulance chaser.
Yeah, damn it.
I see in the chat they're asking Uber. Uber started the following year in 2009. This is still August
That early?
2008. Yeah.
Oh.
So okay.
So
go
I'm
on.
definitely going to step outside and take a look at what's going on.
Curiosity overcoming the safe cat.
Oh hell yeah!
Absolutely.
There's always a thought at the back of my mind that might be the key witness in a decisive court case, something like that.
Okay. So Conrad, you're first on this this scene, as it were. They got the little scrapyard by the docks, and you saw some lights, really bright lights in there. Hey man, anybody see a real bright light? And
I guess I'm
Mr.
keeping an ear out for drag racing sounds, revving tires and
Absolutely.
just a lot of
And you
movement
do
and
in
stuff.
fact hear engines as you get closer. It's
Mhm.
weird though. It doesn't sound like it's here. The lights, flickering behind, they took bulldozers and they just pushed some of these cars up. They're not really stacking them like in a old junkyard movies that you see. They're just kind of pushing them off to the side, and they got to figure out something to do with it later. Excuse me. And but behind some of these, you do see lights, and these aren't from regular flashlights unless they're a lot of halogen lights. But you do in fact see something like this, and you, as you get closer, you are hearing some engine sounds, but most of them in the revving, they sound like they're on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean somehow. We're right up on the beach area, the closed down beach. You have access, but most don't. It's strange. It's almost like it's coming through from another side of like you're on the outside of a race park and you're hearing it.
Okay.
The echo of an echo.
I'll turn down my radio mic a little bit so there's no feedback noise, and then just kind of whisper that I'm on site to dispatch so that he know where my last location was, and then I'll just kind of creep around as best as I can, as quiet as I can, to get a little bit closer to what the revving noises are and where the lights are coming from.
Yeah. They say, let me know when you have eyes on. All right. This private chat keeps going right in front of Ken. Ken, you don't live too far from there. You actually live right across from the east end of Sunset Lake Park,
Okay.
and you've got a small house there, and you hear a lot of the revving also.
So I can hear it outside, I think.
Yeah, you look outside and you do see 2, 3, maybe 4 cars racing. It's odd to see because the roads are supposed to be mostly, everything going no more than 20, 30 miles an hour tops, but they, even on Main Street, it's like 30 miles an hour. So here it's like seeing them flying by at 50, 60 is, whoa, what the hell? I mean, these are just 2-lane streets, single lane, both way streets out in front of your home.
Yeah, so I'm pretty smart, but I don't have a whole lot of common sense when it comes right down to it. So my curiosity probably gets the better of me. That being the case, I probably start by looking through the window, but once I kind of hear and see something's going on out there, like I want to know what the commotion is. So, against better judgment, I probably go outside and start looking up and down the street. And if I don't see anything, I probably, inch my way out a bit further yet.
Absolutely.
Sit down.
There is one car in front of your home that it's none of your neighbors' cars. You don't know all of your neighbors, but you kind of know your neighbors.
Mhm.
And this is a new car.
Like a sports car?
It's not a sports car, but it's not some old beat up sedan either.
Is it kind of flashy?
Uh, it's got some nice nice hubcaps, not rims, but some nice hubcaps on them. Yeah.
What color is this car?
This is a nighttime looking car, so it's dark.
Okay, so I'm not real familiar with car makes and models and all that stuff anyhow. So I'm kind of scratching my head a little bit. Um, can I get like a license plate or anything? Kind of taking a look, or is it too dark?
Yeah, there's a license plate on it, and it looks like there's a light on inside. It's not the dome light. Somehow it's as you look, it's the glove compartment light.
Well, that's peculiar.
Yeah. So the glove compartment is actually open and there's a light on in the glove compartment. The dimmest thing. You wouldn't have been able to see it if you didn't get this close. And the passenger side, it's a two-door.
Okay.
Passenger side, the window is down.
How many people do I see in the car? Can I see anybody?
Oh, there's nobody in the car.
So with that, I will probably be like, "Whoa!" And I'm like running through different stories I've
Mind you,
heard.
it
Like,
is parked. Just
okay,
okay.
but it's running.
Yes.
Okay, I'm like running through different stories in my mind, like, "Ooh, what's up with this?" I look around, see if I see anybody like going towards it, coming away from it. And I guess if I
No,
don't see anything, I would probably go up to the passenger side and like try to look in the window.
absolutely. Over uh to Kurt.
Hi there.
You go outside to take a look and see what's going on, and there's a couple cars driving pretty fast down the street. There's always going to be dumb kids driving. You're right off of Cookman, and there's always going to be some. It's like the only diagonal street in all of Asbury Park. All the other ones are north, south, east, west running. So
It's the
yeah,
drag lane.
essentially, yeah. And there's not that much room, but there's more room than in the rest of Asbury. And you go up and there's just two cars that kind of zoom, zoom, and you're not used to this since Katrina, and you're kind of feeling like, oh, maybe things are starting to turn back to normal. They're getting some of the older cars out of the road. A
Yeah.
a car kind of pulls up and pulls along the side of the road. It's going towards east, so it's on the other side of the road as you, and it
Uh-huh.
pulls up and comes to a stop on the opposite side of the street. Sees you there. You're the only person on the street right now. The guy inside, kind of calls out, "Excuse me, sir. This is the way to the boardwalk, right?"
So I take a proper look at him. Who's asking me what?
It's just some guy in the car,
Oh,
slight frame, white guy. He's just
it's that
asking,
way, buddy.
"Thanks. I, I'll take another look. Thanks." He drives off. In
Is he going the
between
right way?
yes, he is.
Right. Okay.
In between Ken and Conrad is the Berkeley, and there's a crash outside your hotel. There was a parked car, and it got sideswiped by another car. And you hear a scream, "Ah!" as you always will.
I'll probably look up from my menu and head out to see what's happening. I have a little bit of medicine, so I might be able to assist.
Absolutely.
Do I hear the
No.
crash too,
No,
Bill?
you don't.
Okay.
And you're hearing your engines in the actual scrapyard part. And so Shivers, you're going up to it, and you do see one car crash into another one. And as you're looking and approaching, looking, all of a sudden you see a fire in one of the engines. Not a big one, but just kind of lights up underneath the hood. The front end is smashed in a little bit, so the hood obviously folds up, and you see a fire start under there. It looks like maybe some brake fluid line got cut, and yeah.
Okay, is there anybody in? Is that the car that's the car that's crashed into it, or the car that was parked?
You're approaching from the front of the
I
two
see.
cars, so yeah, it's harder to tell.
Okay, is there anybody else out on the street around me?
There are a couple of people, and some of them are dialing on their phone, and
That's what I was looking for, to see if anybody was.
yeah, and a couple of them are obviously welcome to the world, taking pictures, video, going live.
If any of them are sort of quite close to me, just as I'm passing, I might say, "You may want to put that phone to better use, sir, and call the authorities." And just as I carry on up towards the cars to see what's happening,
Better mind your own business.
just doing what I think is right, sir.
It, America's a little ruder, more
Mhm.
in your face than most areas of jolly old England, or at least the elbows you rub with.
Exactly.
And Asbury's a bit of a tougher breed.
Still haven't quite worked that out yet. So,
Oh
but
yeah,
yes, I'll
still that
head
culture
towards
shock.
the cars again. Try and gauge how many people are still inside the cars. Obviously, the one I can see the flame from. Quicken my pace to try and get there.
You see an unconscious woman in the back seat of the car. Does it look quick roll for your observation?
So there'll be perception, and I don't have any alertness. I've got investigation.
Yeah, and awareness.
Excuse me.
Just give me some standard successes or not.
One success.
One success is enough to notice that her seatbelt was never actually on.
Okay.
There's also and she's on top of what you're looking at is a baby car seat. But the woman
Okay.
herself looks unconscious.
Was she okay? Is there? Can I see anything in the baby seat? Or
She's on top of it.
she's on top of it.
There
Okay.
might be a leg sticking out. It's not moving though.
Okay. The car that she's in, 4 doors, 2 door,
4 doors.
4 doors. Okay. I'll try the back door.
Done. And Jerry, you're driving by. Some of your work is, in fact, on the this would be on the south side of the boardwalk, where the old casino was. And you're going that way, so you can get towards Rathburn. So you can make your right and go home. You live in more of the Ocean Grove area, which is still technically Asbury Park, but also not. That's where the big, beautiful Methodist church is. It's a really cool property because it's got a very long bit, and then towards the top, the property kind of goes like this. So the whole property is in the shape of a cross. And yeah, there are homes there that are actually owned by the church. And then there's the long park area that goes right up to a big pavilion where there's usually music at night. And you enjoy, being able to swing by the long way and see if there's a band playing. And they haven't started the bands up again yet, but you're always hoping. It was always a huge joy to you to see that. And you're driving up that way, and you see um, There's a couple of cars. It looks like there's a traffic jam because there's one car like this. The road is going like this, and one car like this, and then three cars backed up on the other side of it. They're being blocked by this one long sedan. Looks like a El Camino.
Does it look like an accident?
It could be, but mind you still have your police mind about you. Um, this, you know that a lot of the Latinos from the Long Branch area sometimes come down to start trouble with some of the locals in Asbury. There's always that Long Branch and Asbury rivalry. There's also the Neptune City and Asbury rivalry constantly. So it looks like maybe it could be something popping off, maybe not. You see some people out there, and as you're driving by, and you see that they're getting in each other's faces.
Okay. I think I will. God, I quit that job for a reason. I think I'm gonna call. Am I anywhere near my old? Are we in my old precinct at all to where I could call the non-emergency number, or is it, or would I have to call emergency?
You'd probably, yeah, whatever. You can call whichever one you want. You've got a phone. You still
Right,
got
but
friends.
what I'm asking is, am I in my old area?
Yes. Yeah, this is still
Okay.
Asbury, Ocean Grove area.
Okay. All right. I'll call the non-emergency, so I'm not clogging up 911. And
And you'll let them know?
I'll let them know, and I'm gonna assume there's probably a good chance I'll even know the person answering the phone.
Mhm.
So
New girl, but yeah. Okay. Are you looking for a conversation with her or what?
well, I want to kind of let them know what's going on here. Like, it looks like some shit's
Done.
about to pop off here.
Done. Do you just keep driving or what? Okay.
Yeah. If I'm clear to go past, but I want to get a good eyeball of it in case they need a statement later or something.
You do hear somebody say, he's got a gun. It's not shouting, but it's more like informative. He's got a gun. I saw it. He's got a gun.
All right, I'm gonna pull over.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just get the old Glock 17 ready, just in case.
Okay. Done.
Got to still protect.
So you go walking up. One of the guys wish I could turn off this private chat. Never mind. F it. I don't need to see Ken. So you guys are you're walking over to see what the commotion is. There's a couple of women, there's a couple of guys. They're all young. Every single one of them are young, and they're shouting at each other. But it's one of those things. One of them goes and says, sees you coming, and it's like, see what you're doing now? You getting Whitey involved.
I kind of put my hands up, like trying to de-escalate. Hey, hold on. We're all from the same area here. We're all neighbors
Call
here.
this
Come
place
on now.
home.
Yeah.
One of the girls
What's
one of the girls goes walking up. Most of them are just like, walk away, dude, walk away. But a lot of them are still in each other's faces. One of the women comes walking up to you, and she, she's walking up like, what you doing here? What you doing here? She's Tina, but as she gets close, she says, they've got guns. You should seriously leave. There's a gun in the back seat of that car. Just go.
Are you okay? You want to
She
get
turns
you need me
around
to get
like putting her back to you, but still turning around and saying, you need to walk away, boy. You need to walk away. You don't even belong here. And she's walking away, and she's kind of giving you like a stern look of consternation as she's walking away. She's a real one. glance back and you look in the back seat of the car, and that's a AK.
It's an AK, huh? All right, I'm gonna kind of back a little bit more slowly.
Oh, and there is a banana
And
clip inside of it, and you can tell that it's properly cocked back. So
all right, I'm gonna call the number back on my phone.
one of the guys comes
And
walking towards it. You like looking around? You like looking around? And he comes walking back on the other side of the car, and he's walking back towards the car that you're looking in.
Is this happening in front of us who've
No,
gone out on the street?
no, it's not.
No.
This is just
Okay.
he and I right now.
Okay.
so, so he's walking toward the AK, huh?
Yes. And there's another one
Okay.
walking now on your side. They're both coming from the same direction, but on either side of the string of cars.
All right. Like I said, I'm dialing 911 and sticking the phone back in my pocket. And I'm gonna go ahead and put my hand on my weapon. I'm gonna say, hey, look, I'm not looking for trouble. Nobody else here is either. But I got a feeling the cops are gonna start showing up.
Mm-hmm. So one of them standing right opposite you. So the gun is the whatever. I'm not in the army anymore. The gun is in between the two of you, and then the other guy is to your immediate left, and you're kind of, positioned to look at both of them. Glance behind every so often. You're keeping your ears open. I know cops, but the guy on the other side puts his hand, behind his back. It's like, your car is right there. That nice van of yours is right there. You should walk away. You should drive away. And the other guy's looking, and he's just kind of like a concerning look. He's like he's trying to. Ah, shit. He recognizes you. He says, "Yo, I know this guy. I know this guy. He's 5-0."
No, dude, I'm just a plumber, man.
Your side where the window is open. His isn't. He's pulling out his keys and he's unlocking the door. He's like, yo, trace this dude, 5-0. The other guy's like, yeah. He's pulling out his piece.
All right. While drawing my weapon, I want to get on the other side of my van.
No, that's on the opposite side. You were going the opposite direction. So you'd have to run across the street.
No, I was backing up toward the van.
This is how it is. You were on the other side of the street. You have to run across the street to get to your van. If that's what you want to do, tell me now.
All right, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get some cover behind some kind of vehicle.
Okay. There's this vehicle that's right in front of you. It's the last car in the lot. There are two cars in front of you, and then the inverted car right in front. The guy gets the door open and he starts reaching for the AK. Chris, Conrad, you are walking in and you're seeing a lot of these headlights. You're walking around a bend where they'd pushed a bunch of the cars together, and you're seeing a lot of these cars. You're seeing they're actually starting to move, like, with the revving of the engine. Suddenly it's like you walk through some kind of veil and you see all of these cars, and you now, well, you've always seen them, but now you're hearing them like they're right in front of you.
Do they look like old cars?
Yes.
Like
They look like they're
1960s,
beaten up
1950s?
cars. No, they're not like
Not.
that.
Oh, okay.
No, nobody's driving a new car in Asbury Park at this in 2012.
No, but I meant like something that would make me think this is like a.
No,
like
there's no reason to ever think something like that either. Get metagaming out of your head. I would tell you that.
Well, you said I went through felt like I went through a veil.
It sounds like you went through a veil. You went around the corner, and all of a sudden it's nice and loud.
Like all the echoes are basically
So back to
reverberating
Ken.
now finally.
Ken,
Hi.
what are you gonna? Actually, excuse me. I don't actually. I want to go back to Kurt really quick.
Sure.
Kurt,
Sure.
sorry, two people with K. So you guys are so cautious. I'm just gonna have you all get ran over really soon. Keep being cautious. See how long you can test the merciless storyteller. Kurt, the guy comes back facing the other direction now. Your side of the street because you're looking. You still see a couple of cars. You know, you see one car go racing by. You see another one. Nice looking cars, but yeah, sun's going low, big guy. And this the same car comes back up. He's not racing, and he's pulling up and he's bending down because you're on the passenger side. And he's bending down to try and look at you, and he's like, "Hey, do you know which way the boardwalk is?" He's like, "Oh, you're the guy. Like, I just saw you, right?"
Yeah. I'm literally. Is this the same dude?
Same exact guy, same car, same everything. He's like, "This is my second time going down that street. I like it just comes to a dead end. There's like, you know what I'm saying?
Uh,
Like, I'm looking for the ocean."
the ocean. The ocean's that way.
No, you were
I'm.
pointing in the right direction.
Yeah. Uh, um, uh, I'm a little confused and a little bit annoyed. Why is this my problem? I told you where the ocean is.
Okay, I apologize. Oh my God, the people here are so rude. I'm following my stupid GPS and it's taking me wrong. I thought that a local would. I apologize. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Sorry. You caught me at a bad moment. Look, okay. If you turn around and you go that way, you will reach the ocean.
Okay,
Are they paying attention to anything I'm saying? Are they actually listening?
he
Um,
is. He is, and he's got
he
his
is.
GPS.
Uh,
Yeah, like it's old school.
is there
It's a
anyone else in the
box that
car, or is
is.
it?
It's a box that's rested on top of the dashboard. Do you remember those old school GPSs? Yeah.
Yeah, my mum's got one. Yeah, I know what you mean. Um, is there anyone else in the car?
No, it's just him.
Okay, so I'm gonna like take a breath and literally give him directions to the ocean, but at the same time, I'm taking a note of who he is, what is his, white male, sitting in a car, a silver sedan, blah blah blah. I'm taking notes. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely,
I'm
absolutely.
I'm suspicious. I am very suspicious. I already told him once. It should be simple.
It is actually that simple. It's literally drive down and you come to the beach. But
Yeah, I don't believe
yeah.
him. I'm taking note. I'm looking at his license plate as he drives away. All of that. The
Oh,
uh,
well, he
best.
turns the GPS towards you, and he's like, "I know it's facing the wrong way, and I'm sorry if I'm bothering you. I really am. I'm just, but like, I'm going here, and it's saying that this goes into a big, cross section, and that's where the beach is, but it's just a dead end. Like, are you sure? Like, there's,
That's
it's not
not
even
what I
blocked
know, is
off,
it?
huh?
That's not what I know, is it? That's
That's not
wrong.
what you know. Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Okay. Uh,
But he's showing you on the GPS. You have to bend down to
you know what?
look
Screw it.
in.
I've got nowhere else to be right now. Uh, uh, oh look, it's the passenger door. I'll jump in. I'll guide you down.
Oh, that's
And I
fine. Keep the door
yeah.
open, whatever it is, what it is, and just point
Uh,
out. And it
oh,
does look like the GPS is doing everything correct.
no, what I was suggesting is that I
Mm.
actually get in the car and go, look, this is, and you turn left here and actually get in the car with him.
Oh, you wanted to make the U-turn and you'll take him to the thing? It's only 2 blocks. You could walk back. It's easy if that's what you want.
Yeah. It's like, He's nice. Yeah, sure. I'll
You
do
did
that.
just yell at him.
I did, but that was
You
before
really
he
got
was
the Asbury
nice.
Park accent down really well. It's just volume really high. Good on you.
But he apologized. It's all good. I'll show him the way.
Okay. Okay, easy enough.
So
Yeah, he makes a UE and he starts going down towards. Um, Ken, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think when we left off, I was starting to like take a look into the car through that open window. You said the glove box was open, so like if I can see anything inside the car, that's what I'm looking for.
Okay. Um,
Is it
Nothing.
immaculate clean? Is it dirty? Anything?
It's not dirty, but it's not clean. You know, if you were an obsessive compulsive individual, you'd look at this and be like, it's not bad. Oh, like Max. Yeah.
Like do I see like any debris of any sort, like fast food wrappers, papers, notes,
Oh no, no.
gym
This
shoes?
person takes care of their car. There's a map, which, yeah, in 2012, it's not entirely, actually, not even just a map. There's actually a street atlas, with
Rand
the
McNally's.
spiral binding. So it looks like it's a tourist of some sort. And there's just papers in the glove compartment. It's Asbury, so you do, check to see if there's a gun. No, nothing.
And nothing in the glove
Um,
box either, just the map.
yeah, just it looks like papers. It looks like the user manual is in there. Looks fine. You're just poking your head
Yeah, in the
in the window a little bit,
passenger's
right?
window.
Mhm.
Do I see anything in the back seat?
In the back seat, you don't see anything. Um, yeah, there's no tears in the back. There's no garbage. There's no Freddy Krueger tricycles. No, it's just a regular.
And I don't know if this show was out then or if that was a little bit later, but I'm like, man, am I getting punked? So I'll like take I'll leave one hand on the car and I'll like take a look around, just see if there's like anyone around again, like people with video cameras or something.
Yeah, there are still people in this era. There are still some people with those old hand cans like that, but yeah, most people have switched to their low pixel, by today's standards,
Cell phones.
flip phone cameras. Yes. I think BlackBerry was a thing at this time. In fact, yes, it absolutely was. BlackBerry was a thing at this time. I think this was the beginning of the smartphone era.
Gotcha.
Yes. So yeah, there are a couple people with smartphones, but no, right now you don't see anything like that. You just see the engine is on, the keys are on. Oh, there's a little
Chotsky.
um uh a tchotchke. No. Nice. My daughters love those stupid things. There's what's it called? An ice skate keychain that's in the
Hmm.
ignition.
No Tamagotchi though. Got it.
No Tamagotchis, right? Those won't make a comeback until
Okay.
later.
So I kind of look around, I don't see anything of interest, but I'm like, wow, this is really weird. And I'm like, kind of call into the window and I'm like, hey, is anyone in there?
And I don't know if it surprises you or not, but there's no answer.
And I'm like, okay, it's not a ghost. And like mental note. And I kind of look up and down the street. And I kind of shrug and I guess I start walking back to my place.
Okay. You start walking back and the door opens.
To the car or my place?
Oh no, not your place. The car.
I'm a little on the slower side, but I'll definitely wheel around. What do I see?
Dome light. Yeah, the back door is opened. This was where the window was up. But the dome light is on now.
And my curiosity would definitely get the better of me again. I go right back up to the car, this time to the back seat, and I kind of
And
just
there's a
doing that whole
folder.
looking around. Do I see anything? And then if I don't see anything, I'll probably stick my head in the back.
No, relax. There's a folder. You're pretty sure there wasn't a folder there before, but there's a folder in the back seat. Bright candy apple red.
Is it on the far seat? Do I need to like kind of half crawl
It's
in to
right in the
grab
middle.
it?
No, it's right in the middle.
Okay, yeah, I'll kind of put one hand on the top as I kind of like lean in and pull it out. And is there like anything on the folder, like maybe a title or?
No, not even a rubber band. There's just, it looks like there's one piece of paper inside. I mean, it's still closed, but so not even a need for a rubber band or a paper clip or anything like that.
And my curiosity once again would get the better of me, just being right there with the backseat light on. I'll crack open the folder using the light of the back seat just to see what it says.
Nice. Shivers. The fire's getting a little bigger.
Yes, I will try.
The woman starts moving a little bit. She's like, my baby.
I will try the door.
It's locked.
Okay. Madam, can you unlock the door from the inside, please?
She's looking at you. She's got a cut.
Right.
You can't tell how deep it is because it is indoors. It is dark. But she looks up. What? And you see the baby is under her, and you've got some medical training. It's not a newborn, but it's not a walking age baby.
Okay. First thing then, I will look around very quickly. Is there anything nearby, whether it's a large, like a rock or a piece of debris that I could use to smash the window with?
Oh, there are plenty of things in there, yes, but you also know you'd probably hurt her
That's-
if you did that. The shattered glass. She says, "What?
Open
What?
the door, and so I can help you out."
Help my baby!" And she reaches over and she's trying to actually get the lock, but it's one of those locks that you just push in like this, and you have to either unlock the door or pull the handle. And she realizes she can't do that, so she reaches down and then pops the handle, the lock, like that. Oh my gosh! And
oh my god! Yeah, I mean, see, I've got two of those.
It's a trick.
In fact, I've got.
It's an optical illusion. And and anyway, and the door just
Yep.
that half unlocked kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, I'll try and pull the door open. As I do so, I will look to whoever's closest and say, "There's a child in danger. Some assistance would be appreciated," and give the door a pull, try and get it open.
It's two, I'm not going to say kids, but to us to be kids, they're like 13 to 15 years old, something like that. And they're looking on their, they're pointing their phones, they're looking at each other and like,
yes, lads, I'm talking to you.
Ladies, they're both girls.
Yes, okay, sorry. Mm-hmm. Yes, young ladies, some assistance, please.
What do you want us to do?
Any assistance that you can provide. There's a young woman here and her child who are in danger.
Do you like that you get to use your British voice?
Yes.
your native voice in this one, instead of faking an American accent.
Well, my American accent is not bad if I'm sustaining it, but
every Brit thinks that. So you go walking.
I've been told, because obviously as an actor as well, I have been told that I have a natural Baltimore accent by an American. So
that would make sense. So yeah, the woman is trying to push the car seat towards you, but it's strapped up proper.
Is the door open?
Yeah, the door's open. It's unlocked. Everything.
Is she? So she's on the far side, and the child seat's in front of me.
Yes, but it also looks like she was either thrown, which would be weird if it was a head-on. Maybe she crawled over and then kind of fell back there. Yeah.
In which case, can I just unstrap the baby from the chair and take the baby out?
Yeah, it's that one button, the overhead, like
Okay.
like a racing car seat, and the baby's facing the back seat, so that young enough car seat. Yeah, absolutely. You're able to pop it, remove the two sides, and you got to kind of move your
Yeah.
elbow in more to kind of scoop it up. Are you left-handed or right-handed?
Left-handed.
Oh, then this is easy for you. Yeah, you're on the right direction to just kind of boop and scoop and lift and all that good stuff.
Uh,
Jerry Jer,
Uh-huh.
you're in the exact same position. It's looking very precarious.
Did I manage to get some cover there while he was trying to grab the gun?
You want to go to the back of the car?
Put the engine block between us.
No, you're not paying attention. The cars are facing that way. They came from that way. You can get behind the trunk of the car.
Okay. Well, like I said, I need to get some cover, have my weapon on.
All right. You run back there. You get your weapon out, and you're kind of over the top so you can get see
Yeah,
both of them.
drop your weapons.
The one guy starts popping shots, tat, 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 like that. The other guy jumps in the back seat. You'd figure he'd have gotten out sooner if the other jackass didn't start shooting. So he's instead of just getting the gun and standing up and getting out and firing, he's in there for a little while longer. But he's in there for so long, you're starting to wonder, did he kind of crawl backwards and is he coming around the side right now? You can't tell because you're hearing the pop, pop, pop as you got down lower.
Well, I need to return fire. So,
Tell me how. Talk to me.
um,
Over top or around the side? What are you doing?
gonna go around side.
Interesting choice. He wouldn't have expected that. No one would have expected that. Okay, so you kind of lean around. Do you drop down or do you just kind of lean over? One is going to give you more of an advantage on your roll.
Probably more lean over.
But okay, so this one won't give you as much of an advantage, but it will, however, give you. I wonder if I can actually move this stupid chat box someplace else. Whatever. Can we, if you guys can avoid using the private chat, like there's no reason for you guys to be talking to each other. You don't know each other. And it's actually like huge distracting me and I don't know how to disable it right now. Anyway, so what happened? Yeah, so you lean over to the side to take your shot and go ahead and give me one roll.
All right, what am I rolling?
Your dice. I want to
know.
see. You think you know. I want to see. Let's do wits and alertness. So 4
All right.
dice.
Oh boy, that's not good. I die. I botched.
Oh, you botched. Okay, cool.
Well,
So you
failed.
reach over like.
I didn't botch because I only got one, and one success, so it's just a straight fail, I think.
Okay, done.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one fail. You reach over to the side and, excuse me, you kind of go like that. And I'm gonna say that you do fire off a round. And it wasn't a straight round, but you do fire off a round. Boom! It kind of echoes in the night because there's nothing around you. The cars are all gone. The people are gone. Everything's gone, and you're just out on the opposite side of the street of your van and leaning down, and you just fired down towards the Asbury Park Pavilion.
What the fuck? I didn't drink anything.
Down towards the direction where you shot, you actually hear someone scream, "Ah!"
God damn it. I'm going to go take a look, holster my weapon.
All right. You go trotting down in that direction, back towards Asbury Park. Did you leave the keys in your van? Be honest.
Let's find out. Yeah.
Conrad, all these cars are vroom, 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 like that. And then as you get around, you see that they stop.
They completely shut off.
Yes.
Do I see any people like near around the car?
It's nighttime. There are all these lights in your face. Maybe? Right? You got the night blindness of the some of them had their maybe all of them had their high beams on, flashing between them both and whatnot. So you still have the spots in your eyes.
All right, I'll kind of like try to block out some of the high beams a little bit,
Oh no,
and then
all the lights are gone, but you still have the residue.
okay,
Yes.
yeah, I'll creep out from around the corner to where they were at, and take a look around. The cars are still there. They're just shut off.
Yes. Yes.
I'll
Yeah,
go in.
like all of them in perfect synchronicity, as though it never happened. Ooh.
I'll try to
Right?
make sure I'm not standing in front of any of the cars in
That's going to be
case
hard to
anybody
do because, again,
Okay.
they weren't stacked like intelligent people would do. They were bulldozed over.
Okay. So, but I'll try to make my stay as best as I can to this, like the driver's side doors, to see, if I can look inside the cars, see what I see. Plus, I have my flashlight. If I gotta click it on to kind of look in,
Absolutely. You're
take a
not
peer
seeing
around.
much of anything. Most of them with trash, some of them without, various stages in between.
Mhm.
All of them jacked up, every single one of them. These were all cars, that crashed or flipped from the hurricane. All of these are considered not serviceable anymore. There has been somebody coming by to grab license plates off of these cars to return them to the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicle, for all the non-American, non-New Jersey peeps who are watching.
Mm.
But some of them are still there. So yeah, they're just hiring quick help to get those off and not doing the best of jobs. But yeah, that's the case. And then
Can I
go ahead.
can I use my flashlight to just kind of see if there's any tracks? Because at that time there was mostly still beach sand from where
Correct.
the everything had flooded out. Like, are there any tracks in the sand around where the cars are?
Of course there are, and a bunch of push wheels and tracks, like actual from how would you say it, tracked vehicles, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like the bulldozer and whatnot. But yours are the freshest tracks here. I'm not saying that none of these other tracks could be the footprints of people running around or gremlins. You don't see any little gremlin, tracks. That'd be my first instinct. But
What the?
and I'm sure that you're thinking something similar. But no, yours are the freshest footprints here tonight.
So is there? I'll go up to one of the cars and just kind of try to open the driver's side door to see if there's any keys in it.
Yeah,
In
there's a
case
couple that you're trying multiple because a lot of them are, wedged shut because of the bulldozer and smashing into each other, and flipping. But yeah, you finally find
Yeah,
one that's open. You reach it. There's no keys.
because my idea is like if they were somehow able to still get power, maybe it's because even though everything should have been flooded out or damaged,
Mhm,
maybe it's a short wire or something. But
mhm.
yeah, I just got the flashlight looking. They all just look like jacked up cars, right? There's just
You do
nothing.
have an idea though. You look a little bit lower, and you got
Mhm.
to kind of put your knee on it to see. But you look a little bit lower to see if maybe the car was hot wired,
Okay.
and you do see just a little bit of a spark on some connected wires, which is
Hmm.
interesting, right? And as you do that, the car comes to life and then just starts driving forward at maximum speed. Now, these aren't race cars, so they're not going to 0 to 60 anytime soon, but it starts going. And as you readjust yourself, you're in essentially a scrapyard environment, and it's not too far before that
Can I try to
you hit a
roll out
wall
of
of
the
cars.
way, or like, is there any place that I can see that I can kind of roll or run out of the way so I don't get crushed?
You're inside the car as that happens. So you're pushed up
Oh
against
well.
the car. The door is closing on you. You had one leg out, and in order to not get your leg cut off or broken, you like kind of move it in, and Yeah, it's a rush, and you're kind of like on the windshield. Did you
Can
have
I? Okay.
the steering wheel? Did you have your gun in your hand or not?
No, just the flashlight.
Done. Okay, the
So can I?
flashlight falls out of your hand.
Okay. Can
Still in the
I?
front seat, but yeah.
I look for an emergency brake and see if I can pull an emergency brake and
That is
cut the
very
wheel
rational of you.
and cut the wheel so that if it's no longer going head on, it would be like a side swipe.
Absolutely. Brilliant. There is an emergency brake. Lucky for you, it's on the center console, not down below where you'd have to press hard.
Oh
So you can
yeah,
yank that. It does kind of yank hard to the left, and just at the very end, boom, crashes, and you kind of, you know, to the other side of the car. You're fully inside the car now, and the door goof, closes, the driver's side door, and you're fully inside of the car. And a little bit like, your feet are kind of higher than your shoulders are, and you're not feeling great, but you're a big enough guy. You hold on, what was your strength? Yeah, you got a 3 strength. You're fine-ish, but that Shivers, as you reach in, the car start the baby and the woman look directly at you with dead eyes, and then vanish as the car takes off really fast. You're rolled in a little bit. You you start trying to sit up a little bit. You have to brace your feet on the seat and the floor in order to get up. The door closes as it's, smacks into the side of another car, and you're fully in this car as it's racing down the street. Ken,
Okay.
you are
I'm in the. So
um,
just very quickly, I'm in the back seat.
yes, you were
Okay.
you were going in the back seat, right?
I was going
Yeah,
in.
of
Yeah,
course,
that's
that's where
yeah.
everything was.
Okay.
Yep.
Just whenever I am. Okay.
Ken, you are in the back seat also, and you're looking. You open up the thing, and
Yeah.
it says, "Gotcha." Boom! Same thing. It starts flying. You kind of your feet are up. Your head is down. You're not exactly in the perfect position here, but the door closes and it's surprised, and you're trying to right yourself. And as you get and it's hard for you to right yourself because of the left and rights. And you get up and you start wondering, and there's nobody driving, and you're suddenly realizing why it was so hard to right yourself, because it's turning down multiple streets by itself.
So I'm probably like trying to like crawl the rest of the way into the car just so I can right myself. And then if I do get upright, which might take me a minute, I'm a little clumsy. Once I do, I probably actually pull the door shut just because I'm afraid that I'm going to fly out.
All right.
Like for some reason, that's what strikes me first before, wait, there's no driver.
Nice. Nice. And of course, effing Kurt decides to leave at the worst time imaginable. Jerry can. Wrong spelling, but still. You start running towards the area, and you don't see anybody, but you do see two lights, kind of they're facing. It almost looks like a gigantic sized lighthouse, but it's way ahead, and it's on the other side of this pavilion as you're racing towards there. Kurt, you are in the car, and it starts racing down the street. You turn and you look to yell at this guy again. He's not there anymore.
Well,
He's not there anymore, but you do see a little bit of a almost electronic flicker of where he was, and it seems like it's a blackened, charred body, and it kind
oh
of
God.
turns and it looks towards you. No, and there's no wave, but there is a loud voice. It seems like it's coming from, or you imagine it must be coming from him, but it must not be. Um, it seems like it's more in your head or in your face, and it
Mhm.
screams out, "The truth is buried." It's a very loud, almost pissed off angelic voice that screams at you. Ken, as you're racing down here and you're in the back seat and you're looking up and the driver's not there, but the radio comes on and it's a Sirius XM radio and starts going through a bunch of different stations and it's got all the figures on the front and it flashes and the letters turn from a ghostly green to a sickening orange. Seems like I'm the only person wearing orange for this Hunter show. And it flashes this fiery orange and it says, almost as if it's screaming in your head, but it actually reads, "See what they refuse to." Chivers, as you're going down there, you're hearing the screaming of a baby in the car all around you, next to you, on your lap, outside the car, everywhere.
Probably
And
instinctively, my hand will go to my St. Christopher medallion that I wear, and I'll just grab hold of that and probably start just almost breathlessly muttering to myself, "Lord, protect me from these things that I'm seeing or that I'm experiencing."
dear audience, this is where a guy thinks that by being Catholic is going to help him. I'm joking. Actually, does the Anglican Church do the saints also, or no? Are you Anglican or are you Catholic? What are you?
I'm kind of not really anything. I was brought up Roman Catholic. My mum's Roman Catholic.
You're speaking about your
Me
character, right?
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I was speaking about me. No, he's. I imagine he's Catholic just because it's easier because I was
Done.
brought up Catholic.
So, wow, a Catholic in England. That's, I would imagine,
Yeah.
rarer. So,
Yeah.
as you're going, you actually hear what sounds like a truly angelic voice that screams from right behind you, but within your very soul. The world has failed. Do not.
Okay.
Conrad. Um. You smack into the side and it starts going right ahead and it starts going around like as if it's a thunderdome kind of thing. The car just starts spinning all the way around, smacking against the sides of the cars that are pushed and piled, and boom, 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 smacking. You're getting jarred. You're trying to, maybe you're trying to reach for your flashlight, maybe you're trying to reach for whatever you're trying to do. Gaining any kind of ground is almost impossible because the constant slam, 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 and then but you kind of like push up against the dashboard and push yourself back to stop banging, all around, to try to protect your head, your skull, your face. And then the rear view mirror just kind of goes a little bit to go right towards you, and next to you in the driver's seat there is a skeleton with ghostly fumes around that stares right back at you and says, "Enjoy the ride." And then just as you see that, the rearview mirror explodes. You try and the glass from your eyes and whatnot. Do you wear glasses?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't think my guy has
It would have
them.
been
No.
instinctual either way, but just,
Yeah.
like that, and your elbow smashes. But as that happens, you didn't bang your head, but that would be the only thing that would explain someone's screaming in your head, "They will fall unless you stand." Jerry, as you go running up, you see a car, headlights on and blinking, flashing. There's someone inside the car you're able to see, and it's spinning around this big Thunderdome looking wasteland of a scene.
Okay. I'm gonna approach this cautiously.
As you start walking slowly, cautiously forward, you trip, you fall, you trip over the body of a girl. This might be who you shot.
Oh,
And you turn back Yeah, exactly. And you're kind of like, like you're about to say ma'am or something, but as your mouth opens, she jumps up and grabs you by the shoulders and screams in your face, "The world will suffer if you hesitate." And then just completely boof, like she was moving towards you, says this, and then just boof, like a Thanos snap, and just like it's almost like you're tasting her ghostly essence. And this was a booming microphone type scream, and suddenly you realize you're very acutely aware that the person inside of that vehicle doesn't want to be inside that vehicle. Okay, let's go with who wants to go first. You guys are all now imbued. You've all heard the call of the messengers in your head or in some way specific to you.
I guess gripping onto my St. Christopher, I will very loudly state to whatever is animating this vehicle, "Get thee behind me, Satan." And I'll kind of like hold it forward.
Getting all biblical.
And I don't know. I feel like even though I'm in the car, I want to like stamp my feet like I'm planting my feet on the ground.
Nice. Okay. You're gonna have to tell me what you want to do because I am not seeing anything like true faith.
No, but I'm using that. I suppose it's like I haven't really picked triggers for my powers, but it's possibly something like that.
Well,
But
you've got to tell me. What are you going to do? You're going to use an edge?
I'm going to try and use an edge. I'm going to try and use ward to put some distance to drive this thing from me.
Interesting. I want you to make a roll using your. We're going to play with this. We're going to have a lot of fun with this. You're going to use a conviction.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to use your. Yes, you're going to use your conviction as a full conviction, and you're going to use your 1 dot in ward, and I will let you pick one of your attributes or abilities. Whatever you think makes the most sense.
Attributes.
As the bell of the ball, don't keep me waiting.
I'm going to suggest if it was going to be an ability, it was either going to be stamina or manipulation. I don't know. No, not manipulation. Probably stamina.
It could be manipulation because I could see that because it's not that you're trying to. Manipulation is another way of trying to put your will over top of someone. So yes. I know your manipulation is, fairly high. It could be that, absolutely. Or it could just be a stamina, like trying to brace yourself for something. Give me a reason why it could be anything. You did have your wits about you. So if you wanted to have one of your mental attributes, I don't mind. I know those are your forte.
Yes, that's true.
You were
logically this can't be happening, or logically it can't be happening, but it is happening. So yeah, I'll go with intelligence then. Let's start with that, which
done.
Is 4.
I know that's what you wanted, so go for it.
Yeah.
Do dice explode at 4 dots or only at 5? Only at 5 or higher, right?
No. Well, they only explode if my roll is.
I know what your rolls are. Are you capable of having exploding dice at 4 dots?
Not. I am.
No. Okay.
I am, but only for my speciality.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, my speciality is I haven't got an eidetic memory. I've got what the game calls an elephantine memory. So anything to do with recall, then yes, they would. But
got you. Well, maybe you could say you did remember the prayer.
It's true. Let's go.
Every saint has a prayer.
That is true. Okay, we'll go with that. So I'm doing. So it's a dot of conviction, or am I rolling my full conviction? Sorry, I'm new.
No, your full conviction. So 12 dice.
Well, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9.
I'll come back to you while you're doing all that. That's a bit. And can you turn off the
Of course.
your sound? Thank you. Who wants to go next? Kurt, you look bored.
I don't look bored at all. I'm paying attention. Believe me, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. If I understand rightly, I've just gotten into a car to give directions to someone who's disappeared en route.
And someone just
Yes.
screamed to you.
The
And you're
something is buried.
understanding. Yeah, but you're understanding with that scream, you're understanding. You have a
Understanding
mission
something.
to end
Yeah.
whatever's happening as you're driving towards what appears to be a dead end that shouldn't be on Cookman Avenue going towards the boardwalk.
Okay, so I guess I want to do two things. One thing is to lean over, grab the steering wheel, and try and stop myself from crashing because I'm no longer have a driver in my car. And
By
the other
crashing into
thing,
something else, or to, I mean, it's a dead end
just
right in front of you.
a swerve off the side of the road. Just avoid a crash is my general intention. And the other
Sure.
one is, what the bloody hell is going on? I'm
Okay, only
going
one of those
to.
requires an action. So I'm going to imagine
I'm
that.
going to.
Go on.
I was just going to say I'm going to discern.
Ah, there we go. Okay, that's something I can use.
That's the what the bloody hell is going on here part is looking about and literally trying to. What just happened?
So
It
go ahead.
clearly can't have, things. Right. So that's a perception plus zeal.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 6? I
Yeah.
think it's 6. Right. So 4 plus 3. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. I can perceive supernatural creatures for the next 40 minutes.
Done. So as you're grabbing the wheel, and so you were doing 3 things. So
I guess I
you
am. Yeah, you're right.
turn the wheel as hard as you possibly can, hoping to try and make a U-turn as you're driving fast towards this dead end, and no streets on either side, and the car just kind of spins and boom, smacks into the side of something you can't tell because you get thrown up against the back of the door, well, the side of the door, and you're just, oh my God, oh, what the heck, oh, and you're looking around and you see that the car isn't alive, but it seems to have something of a pulse. And you're looking very specifically at the rearview mirror, and you turn it towards you, and you see a hateful version of that man.
But
And
the
he's
man that asked for
screaming.
directions.
Yes, and he's screaming at you. You can't tell what he's saying. You can't hear it, but he's screaming at you from the other side of this mirror. And he's banging and he's banging. He's looking all around and he's just gnashing teeth and like he's gritting so hard blood seems to start coming from parts of his gums at points.
Obviously, the first thing I do is I look over my shoulder to see what I'm seeing in the rearview mirror. I guess I
Nothing.
see nothing. Nothing.
Correct.
Yeah. And then I look in the rearview mirror again and I take a really good look
Okay.
and
Yeah.
take
And
in
you're
the
seeing what
details of him.
What
Yeah.
details are you looking for? Anything specific? You're seeing exactly what I described.
You say he's back. Does he see me trapped in back seat
Ah,
or
yes. He's trapped somewhere. He's trapped in
he's
the mirror.
trapped?
Yeah.
And something is buried. The voice said something is buried.
Dig deep.
Dig deep. Okay, so we're near the shoreline, right?
Yes, you look around and the dead end is gone, and you're right at where you saw that they'd been putting all these cars together, trying to clear the streets so that they can start doing more construction work on the buildings to do some repairs. So you find yourself near It's like a
Right.
yeah. You know
So
that
I'm in a mess
there's
of a
been a lot of
mess.
charges, just really quick. There's been a lot of charges coming in from kids playing around in that area because all these cars and they're trying to loot the cars to see if there's anything in there and whatnot. But anyway, so there's no other kid there, but that's the reports that have been coming in. So you know exactly where you are.
Okay. I slowly get out of the car and take a round.
No, you don't.
Uh,
The car is
no.
locked, almost like it's
Oh.
locked from the inside. It's not letting you get out. The
I, oh.
ignition
Oh.
turns back on and it starts
Oh.
revving.
Whoa. Whoa. No, this is not good. Uh, grab hold of the steering wheel, jump over to this driver's side of the car. I do have one dot of drive, so I can drive. I try to take
Good.
control of the car.
And you've also got 1 dot of strength. Go ahead and make
Yeah.
a roll for me using your
Okay.
strength and your drive, and put yourself on mute. Go to somebody else. Remember what you get. Uh, go ahead, Jerry.
All right. I'm gonna try and get that person out of the car.
It is moving again, but so go ahead. What are you going to try and do?
Is it is it maintaining a similar path?
Yes, circular, counterclockwise.
Okay. So I'm gonna try and time this right and get the door open to try and hit the brake.
What? You're going to
You
jump on a
said-
very fast moving car. I'm about to switch to somebody else.
You didn't say I was moving fast, or I didn't hear you if you did. I was under the impression it was like idling in circles.
Conrad, since you're the one in the car, what are you
Okay,
going to try and do? You do
I
see
have
somebody off on the side as it's driving around, smacking into all these.
All right. I apologize if this is metagaming. But can I
I'm used to
rip?
it from you.
Can I try to rip the electrical panel around the steering wheel off so that I can get to the electronics?
Yeah, by
Is
all
that
means.
okay?
Hardly
So
metagaming. You saw that there was some sparks down there. Yeah, go ahead.
so I'm gonna rip the panel away and to just start ripping out wiring to see if I can get it to disconnect. And if
Okay.
that doesn't work, then I'll start punching to see if I can at least dislodge the fuses, since the fuse boxes are usually at that section
Absolutely.
underneath.
In fact, your flashlight, just as you're reaching back, your flashlight kind of, as it bangs and smashes headlong into something and then
Mhm.
slowly starts backing up, your flashlight jumps up onto the seat right underneath your hand.
Right. Because I can also, with cleave, I can also manifest out of thin air
Oh, is that what you want?
energy
Done.
weapons.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Manifest away, my friend.
Because I wasn't sure like how, if we
What does
understood.
it look like?
It's basically like a bluish flame kind of comes out, almost like a punch dagger, and he just starts punching at the inside of the
My
guts
man
of
just
the
made a
of the car.
Hawkman would be proud of you. All right.
Um,
So you kind of reach back and you're like, I need to hit this thing as hard as possible. And it just starts glowing. It's behind your head. You're not sure exactly what it is, what it's not. Boom! And you hit. Roll me some damage. While you're rolling, Jerry, you see this guy's hand just caught on fire with what looks like or maybe there's been a small explosion. It looks like some kind of butane lit on fire with the blue flame.
Well, shit.
Whatever edges you picked, your powers, you have them now.
Yeah, but I don't have anything that'll help with this circumstance.
No, okay, then whatever. I'm just telling you.
Man, I don't know what to do.
The car crashed headlong into something and it starts backing up. And it looks like it's about to start driving forward again.
All right, is it moving?
This is your chance if
now?
you wanted to jump on.
Okay, if it's moving slow enough now, I want to get there and try and get that door open, the driver's side door open.
You can see that it's been crushed in from the bulldozers.
Can I grab one of the other any of the other doors like that I can get to like that?
On the opposite side, not this fast, no.
All right, can I bust a window?
With what?
Butt of my gun.
Okay, you can do that. Are you trying desperately to open this thing to save this guy?
Yeah.
Would I say desperately enough that your cleave activates?
Sure.
Done. You have blue flames. Or actually, what color do you want your flames to be?
Shit. Samuel L.
So
Jackson.
they're dirty brown.
No,
Um,
they're purple.
okay, purple. The
Samuel
purple
Jack-
lightsaber. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just going with the first thing you said. Okay, so you've changed it to purple. The Brits really get my humor. So you just, boom, you smash in the side. Boom. Conrad, glass goes everywhere as you smash into this thing. What's the damage you do?
All right, so it's my
How many
strength
successes?
plus.
Yeah, tell me.
Do I have to get a 6 or more?
Yeah, 6 or more.
Okay, yeah, so 5 altogether.
Holy crap. You quite literally cleave right in. Your fist punches right through this thing. Like the force, the impact, and the fire seems to push to the side so that you're practically elbow deep into this car right now. And you retract back. The glass shatters on the side. It almost kind of caves in the frame of the window and the door, kind of caves in on you. And both of you kind of just start looking at each other as this car just comes to a complete put. Ken.
Yeah, so as this radio is kind of changing through the numbers on the screen, I'm probably buckling myself in the back seat, and then I hear see what they refuse to, and almost like a kid on a roller coaster, my heart starts beating with excitement as I'm like, this voice, what is it? This car, it's driving on its own, and I almost get a little bit giddy, and I kind of like blink and then like close my eyes almost like I'm meditating, and then open them wide, like grabbing the seat on both sides of me, just trying to like open my mind and my awareness to my surroundings. I don't know if you'd consider that to be like second sight, but just kind of to take in everything, the sights, what anything I hear, just make myself fully aware in the moment.
Everything inside the car looks like it's dripping with some kind of funk. It doesn't look right. It's the car you're in. Very recognizable, but it looks dead. Not rusting, but like it was alive and now dying.
Now, does it look like real melting, or does it look more like, I don't know, some sort of drug trip where just everything is melting?
No, this is no acid. But it does look like the car is very wet with ooze, like decay. The rearview mirror is right there, obviously in front of you and in the
Yeah.
front seat. And in it, you see there's a very young, not a very young, but young enough to maybe he just got his license soon, black man with a red skull cap. And he's got a pair of gold rimmed glasses. And he's looking down, depressed. And he looks up and he looks to you. And he sees that you're seeing him. It's taking him a moment, but he sees that you're looking right at him. And now he's looking right at you. He puts his hands like on the other side of the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like smacking and he's saying,
I see you. How can I help you? What can we do?
and he goes, and he's like looking around. And he's just,
I think as I'm thinking this, I'm not really sure how to connect with him. I'll clearly like look to both sides of me, and I'm sure I don't see anyone there.
nothing.
Seeing him in the mirror, almost like the ghost in the machine, I kind of focus my attention, and I'm like, I wonder what would happen if I smashed the mirror. And as my brain is kind of like thinking about these options that I have, I'm going to use my foresight just to see what would happen if I smashed the mirror versus
Absolutely.
something else.
Tell me how many successes you get. Let's go back to who was Chivers. So what'd you get?
I got 6.
And what were we doing again? Sorry, I'm juggling 5 of you.
Of course, yeah. So I was saying my little prayer, and then I was using ward.
Ah, that's right.
And I said I kind of had this just
So
this
you got
feeling that I wanted
6
to
successes.
Yeah,
Exactly what
it
I
was
was
like
hoping for.
I was like planting my feet on the ground, even though I know I'm in the
I
car.
want you to very quickly make me one more roll.
Okay.
And 4 dice. Tell me
4
how many
dice.
successes you get.
1.
I'll say 1 is going to be good enough. You only get bumps and bruises as your butt hits the ground and you kind of roll a little bit and you go into like a, jumping out of a car roll.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. You probably roll like 6 or 7 times before you finally come to a stop. And you look around and you see these 2 guys, one of them in a car, one of them outside of a car. And what do you call it? In this big car park looking area that you have no idea why the heck it looks like it's a car graveyard. Are you in a junkyard? It's weird. This happens because, and then you stop for a second. You're like, what just happened? And you kind of recall back a little bit. Whatever you did, hand on, and just like this, the car exploded with you as the singularity out, and shrapnel from pieces of car, frame, everything. You just explode outwhere, and you kind of look around, and even as you're there, it seems to be raining parts of car behind you and kind of around you. Yeah.
I will stand up, dust off. I should have said at the beginning, I'm wearing a white cotton suit.
It's not that white anymore.
No, it was white when I put it on, with probably with a dark shirt. I've got a cravat, and I was wearing a Panama hat as well, which is probably rolled off somewhere.
It's not too far. You can go and dust it off.
Oh,
It's still
yeah,
dirty.
pick it up, dust it off,
put it on, but at least you look proper.
and yeah, put the hat back on, and I'll look at these 2 gentlemen. That's what happens when you drive on the wrong side of the road.
Jerry and Conrad, this is like, if this guy stepped out of a TARDIS, it wouldn't be any stranger.
So he looks like Hannibal from the Hannibal movie.
Sounds like him too.
I'd be careful. So there might be parts lying around. Wouldn't want anyone to get injured.
Are there pieces of like smoldering slag, just kind of like debris
Not
and stuff?
slag. There's no explosions there. You have more YouTube inside the car that you're currently getting out of, Conrad. That looks more like slag. His just seems to have exploded. It's a really loud noise that I can't even replicate. It was like you've never seen a car explode from the inside out with no flash of light, nothing. And yet somehow, despite there being no light, you did see something in the back of the recesses of your mind that seems familiar, almost comfortable. Both of you saw that. Let's fly back to Kurt really quick. Go on.
Hello there. Yes, I made my roll. On my 2 dice, I got 2 successes. So I do grab a hold of the steering wheel. How successful I am is up to you.
So the car starts, it's fighting you hard, but you're in the passenger side, you're holding on to it for dear life like this. Your hand's actually in it. Thank God it doesn't win, because it might actually like dislocate or even dismantle your left wrist because of how you're holding on to this thing.
Just
It's
the whole
trying,
might.
but the car still starts moving, but it's just kind of digging into a pile of cars. The other three of you see this as this is happening. He's for dear life he's holding on, but this car, and you know what these cars are doing, guys. What do you guys do? We got it.
Sorry.
Can I run? I run towards the car,
Okay.
and is he going in a circle too, or is it
trying
just
to?
you said it's
So
just
again,
crashing
the front
into?
of the car is the side of the car and the front is wedged into another pile of cars, and it's trying to drive forward because it's almost like if you were driving in the car and you were stuck. It's like you think if I drive fast enough, if I pedal to the metal hard enough, I'll be able to move the cat. I'm joking. I'll be able to like wedge myself, I'll de-wedge myself from this, corner. And that seems to be what the car is thinking. You guys all have an idea of what's going on. So yeah, but there's
Sure.
actually a hostage inside of this car. Not too different than how you just were, Conrad.
We got to get.
So I'll run. I'll try to run over and hop on the
Okay.
hood and see if I can manifest and disable the car through the hood.
Oh, right through it, like going towards
Like
the engine block.
punching
All
around.
right, make your roll.
Yeah.
Jerry, what are you doing?
While he's trying to disable the engine, I'm going to try and actually get him out of the car.
Nice.
And I think
He's
what
also
I'm gonna
locked
do,
in, but yeah, you're pulling. Is there just smack it? What are you going to try and do?
Is this door also damaged?
Yes, it is. You're honestly old school cop enough, and since I don't want to just ruin your weapon with your cleave so early in the beginning of the game, I'll say that you're a prepared cop. You probably have one of those window breakers on you, so you can start trying to pull that out from your emergency EDC. Chivers, what are you doing?
the car's still moving.
It's trying to, but it's
trying to.
wedged. It's like it's stuck in the mud almost.
Okay.
This is the sand of the pre-beach.
Right. Okay. I suppose I will.
Chris, tell me what you got.
Okay, sorry. I will run out in front of it, and I'll just try and like push my hands up to stop it coming any further. I'm almost tempted to having a 3 in academics, and again, everything's running a bit crazy at the moment. Just going, you shall not pass.
Oh my God! Tell me you did not just correct me out on me. God.
To the bridge of
We don't even
Khazad-dûm.
have any black players playing, and you just made yourself the token character. What the hell?
Nice. All right, so is 6 difficulty build to hit?
Everything is 6
Okay,
unless
so I
I say
got
otherwise.
3.
Yes.
Okay, so I got 3 successes to hit
Nice.
it. Do you want me to make a roll like in athletics to jump on the
No,
hood?
no, not at all.
Or anything? Okay. And then I used another conviction to manifest my my fist knife, so that I can and then so 3 successes to hit. You let me know
Give me some damage.
Okay. He's like, shut up, you stuttering. You sound like a motorboat. Okay, so, 3 damage from that one.
Nice. Very respectable. Jerry, you can break open the window on the side.
Mm-hmm. Try and I want to reach in and see if I can't get the door open from the inside.
Oh, no, you can't.
No,
But,
it's not.
Kurt is on the passenger side, even though you're on the driver's side right now. Do you want to try
All
and
right.
reach in and grab him?
Yeah, come on, dude. I reach in with my arm.
I'm already reaching over, I guess, towards the driver's
Nice.
side, so it
I'm
kind of
gonna
makes sense.
do a lock like that, and I'm going to pull him out.
Okay. This is where it's going to get weird. Once you let go with your left hand, that was the main brace. The wheel gets away from you and it starts turning full left. Not directly towards you, Jerry, but it could still wind up hitting you. because you see the direction the wheel is going. You're right there. It's right next to you. And Chivers, no matter how much this wheel turns, it's going to head right towards you, and it's about to unlock. You guys think of what you're going to do. Meanwhile, Kenny,
Okay, so
let's
I
see if
got
we kill Kenny this episode.
Okay, so I got 2 successes on my 4C. I'd like to use one of them to see, I guess, an
So-
alternate reality to this action.
Absolutely. So you smash the window, excuse me, the rear view mirror. It actually you punch it in such a weird way, boom, with your knuckles. You're not really much of a fighter, but you punch it just perfectly, and it cracks and pieces fall out, and it doesn't seem to change anything. You get blood on your knuckles, and you're still just driving forward.
And then what's the alternative vision I see?
So you kind of get a rewind using your discern ability.
Well, yeah, with the 4C, kind of like a split.
Your 4C, excuse me, your 4C,
Yeah.
your foreskin ability, and you get I don't know, what do you want to do for your next thing? What do you want to try?
I guess the alternative is maybe I will try to actually reach into the mirror.
Wow, you didn't even need your third try. So the way I'm doing it is you get an automatic success, but every success you get afterwards is one additional attempt. But you reach in, your hand actually goes through like it's water, something out of the Matrix, and he grabs onto your hand, and he's holding close, and he doesn't have an angry look. His face doesn't change, nothing. He's just like pleading.
And so after seeing this, I will think, okay, this must be the right course of action. This is what they're trying to tell me. And I will try to make my way up into the front seat, which is a bit of a struggle for me. But as I do, I'll try to do that.
Automatically, since you've got one left, when you try to move into the front seat, you realize that you're off balance. But being in the back seat, you can brace your knees on the back seat and pull hard enough. And while you're doing this, you're actually pulling him out. The rearview mirror doesn't look like a human could fit through there, but somehow it's almost like he's made of Play-Doh or silly putty, or I don't know if anybody's getting those old references. And you just kind of like gelatin, and you just kind of pull him out, and he kind of ends up on top of you, and he pushes himself up as you're leaning back. You're kind of like, like you're about to say, "Are you okay?" And you hear the voice more inside of your head than in your ears. And he says, "Thanks, man." And then he just kind of wisps away. The car comes to a slow rolling stop, kind of sit up, and yeah, all you guys see this other car was racing towards you guys, and then it comes to a slow roll and stops right in front of you.
Dink.
Right behind you, Chivers, as the car breaks free and starts moving forward quick. Why don't you go ahead and make me a dodge roll?
Can I try and hold it back with my ward long enough for these guys to pull Kurt out?
If that's the thing you want to do, absolutely.
That's what I was going to try and do. Yeah.
So you put up your ward centered on you.
Mhm.
Okay.
So just remind me again. So it's my my stamina for this one plus my zeal. Anything else? Can I spend upon a conviction for that, or?
Well, yeah, you would do it the normal way. The first time you did it was just, I wanted it to be something very showy. So go ahead and roll the normal way.
Oh, nice. 3 successes.
I got a botch. So the car kind of flips up, boom, and then lands hard.
Thank you.
Kurt, you're not doing so good. You're like, oh. Jerry, your arm takes some damage as you were leaning in, and you're like, oh, like this, and you're kind of thrown backwards. Conrad, you go flying back. Not too far. You kind of ricochet off of, bounce off of the stack of cars, and you land, but it's the beach, so it's not that bad. But all 3 of you guys they're affected this, they're going to take 1 point of damage. What do you call it, as that happens? But the car does in fact get, like, the hood of the car kind of, with the damage from the punching through from the cestus, the manifest cestus punch through, the engine block kind of breaks off from the front of the car, and it kind of dies down a little bit. The engine just,
I don't know why, but I'm seeing a VW Beetle at the moment. I don't know why, but I can see that flipping quite clearly in
what
my
color
head.
is it?
Blue.
All right, Kurt and everybody here, punch buggy blue, no punchbacks.
It's
It's an American thing. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but you are now.
No,
All right.
okay, well, I'll learn.
Ken, you see all this stuff happen, and since you still had, and your eyes are starting to hurt, like you got a eye headache in the worst way, but you see that the guy on the front punched this thing. You see Chivers, this very well dressed, although dusky, dirty, Brit, kind of make this energy come from all around him outwards. Woof, and the car, boom, and you see whatever was in the car manifest in the car. It kind of is released. And I would suggest turning off your vision if I were you, but that's just me.
I have no
This is
choice.
Ken,
I'm looking for
who-
the next 40 minutes, aren't I?
For the sake, this is Ken who's seeing all of this.
Oh, of course, the visionary.
Oh,
Of course.
okay. Yeah, I kind of shut that down. I kind of wasn't thinking about the fact it was still going, and
No worries.
I'm
I'll remind you with pain.
thank you. May I have another? I will kind of back off to the side and just observe this kind of 3-ring circus farce that's going on.
Do you get out of the car or you stay in?
Oh, I definitely get out of the car. As it
Okay.
rolls up, I'll kind of take the keys out of the ignition, walk off to the side, and go, "What's going on here?"
Done. You guys notice this as 3 of you are licking your wounds. Chivers, you're pretty impressed by what's going on, but all of you fully understand in this weird way that you've been chosen, singled out, but brought together as a group, that this is happening. You guys are kind of trying to reconcile. Also, Kurt, you had your discern on, so you see
Yes.
very plainly, much better than what Ken sees. Just for the audience also, you see very clearly that there was something possessing this car, but something possessing the possessor, something riding its back, fingers like tendrils reaching into its brain and making it feel these things, like it's a backpack, like it's Yoda on Luke Skywalker's back, edging it on to piss off Darth Vader more, right? And that's the kind of sense that you'd gotten, but that shadow, as it were, is disappeared once the engine block breaks, once it took enough damage, and then the unwilling passenger is kind of released, and he kind of turns back and thank God, and just disappears into the ether.
Well, I'll tell the others what I see, and also tell them the voice said something is buried. Nothing we've done here has unburied things.
Do you think people were murdered down on the beach, or perhaps buried in the scrapyard?
In New Jersey?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
10 karma for Jerry.
Pine
He
Barrens.
gets it.
I suppose while they're doing this, because that's the kind of thing that Chivers would notice, he'll go up to Jerry and say, "Oh, you seem to have a bit of trouble there with your shoulder," and I'll try and.
You do
Thinking
feel a
of-
natural calling to lay hands
Yeah,
on him.
and I will spend a
And
point of
Jerry, your shoulder, as hurt as it is, there's a different kind of pain, but the pain of tendons kind of strangely restitching themselves.
I would like to feel that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a very good feeling.
it will take 10 minutes. Once I've done it, so it costs me a point of conviction. 10 minutes later, it's that wound level is your lowest wound level is gone.
But you don't have to continue holding him for that to happen.
No,
Yes,
no.
so you
It
just
the
go and
process is
for the
underway.
next 10 minutes, you feeling the stitching up of that.
And
Yeah.
with the light,
And
I
you'll
got
probably
hit by-
notice any little cuts and scars that I had were from exploding the car have just gone. I'm
Mm.
probably not even aware of it myself.
Go
at
ahead,
this
Jerry. What?
stage.
No, I said in real life I got hit by a car and my shoulder's messed up.
Yeah. So Chivers, was that however many successes is how many people you can heal besides yourself?
No, it costs me a point of conviction, and it will heal the most severe level of injury.
But it heals you and Jerry, right?
No, as far as I can see from reading the book, mine is just on all the time. So as long as I'm not taking damage, every
Oh.
10 minutes I recover from
Nice.
a health
This is
level.
like a Wolverine version of body armor. You know, the
Yeah,
regeneration. Like fortitude.
Pretty much.
Nice.
well, yeah. I mean, if I've taken an actual level, there is a table on here. So bruise takes 3 hours. Hurt takes
Let's not
6.
get into the rules.
Yeah.
So,
But-
yeah, I'll give
yeah,
you
any little
guys.
cuts and scrapes will just disappear. Sorry.
Still going to finish the rules. I'll keep that in mind when I'm offering rewards. So, you 5 are together, and you can. I'll give you guys 2 minutes before we sign off.
Yeah, sure. I mean, straight away, I'm going to say, look, thank you guys for saving me. Thank you. Did you just see what I saw?
The ghost
Did
in the
you see
machine.
that?
Oh, I saw it. I haven't figured out what I saw, but I saw it.
I saw
I
something.
go over
yes.
and I kick the side of the car I just punched just to make sure it's not moving anymore.
There was a ghost in the machine. The car itself was like the inside of some sort of creature, and it had trapped a spirit, a lost soul within.
Yeah, I saw it in the mirror. It was angry
too.
and confused.
I'm just listening to you guys talking while you're talking, Kurt. Wherever you seem to be most injured, I'm just
I am totally
checking
fine,
you
buddy.
over.
Yeah,
No,
I am.
you
Couple of bruises, but I'm fine.
all 3 of you took a level of damage. Your level of damage is now going to be healed.
Yeah, I probably got a concussion.
I probably won't notice because I'm too busy talking
Yeah.
and explaining what I've just seen and trying to compare what I saw with what you saw. I'm thinking like a lawyer. I'm trying to compare testimonies.
Has this happened to you before? Have you seen anything like this before?
Well, no, but I've been in an accident. You've always got to compare notes and because that's how you figure out what really happened, right?
So you think that's how they died? They were in an accident, then trapped in their car?
No, sorry.
It seems a bit challenging of me to remind you, gentlemen, that we are standing in the aftermath of a tropical storm. Not
Yeah,
everybody made it out of that storm, did they?
Look, you know what? I think there's a bar down the street. Maybe we could go and have a drink and a chat.
Sure, but I'm a lightweight, so.
I'm
Okay,
still on
no
duty.
worries.
I'm still on duty, unfortunately. I'll meet you guys later.
You already started the street toward that bar.
I
As they
gotta
do,
try
so
and figure out how not to put this in a report.
I will pull out a little hip flask that I carry with me all times, and I'll pass it over to Kurt.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right.
I trust Armagnac is suitable for you, sir. Suitable to your palate.
Well, certainly soothe the old nerves. That will, yeah.
Okay.
I
Well-
mean, that was exciting.
As you guys are kind of exchanging details and all that stuff, and you can figure this stuff all out later. You guys are walking away, trying to figure things out. As you guys are walking by, everybody make me a what is it? Perception plus alertness.
Okay.
Everybody just tell me how many successes. Everybody just tell me if you got at least one success. Say
1.
no if you did not, and yes if you did.
Oh, I did not. I failed.
Okay.
4.
Okay,
3.
good. Good. And those who did, you will see this as you're walking by.
Who's
I got a
Avalanche.
6.
Avalanche the architect?
Yep.
And now the
Okay.
hardest part is trying to figure out how to not be live anymore. Hope you guys enjoyed the game. I'm going to try and how do I, oh, there we go. End stream is right up there. So guys, enjoy. We're going to try and come back every Friday starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to enjoy this game of Hunter the Reckoning, Asbury Park at night. Look forward to episode 2. Later, peeps.